your potential of going 5 for 5 because I think this is the hardest ones to predict.
Yeah.
First one, who will win the women's team title? I give 4 options: Florida, Texas, Arkansas, and other. Other university is everyone not named Florida, Texas, and Arkansas. Um,
Yeah.
I'm going with Florida. You're going with Florida. I have to go with Florida because they've been my number one team since day one. After they got those big transfers and Jasmine Moore and Anna Hall in the multis and
Mhm.
longs and triple jumps, you just got to go with Florida women. And um, they've done nothing to really dispel their chances in my mind. Now, obviously, I had them at scoring 100 points like a month ago. They're not going to do that. But, they're going to have a lot of
Yeah.
people in finals. They're going to be spread across everywhere. They did lose their one distance star in Parker Valby, but at the end of the day, it's fine. They're going to be fine. They're going to have, you know, Claire Bryant in the high jump and long jump, Barrett in the 800, Diggs in the
Mhm.
60, 200, 400, Anna Hall in
Yeah.
the high jump, 60 hurdles. It's just, they're all over the place. So I think it's Florida for the win.
Yeah. For me, it's Florida. They're not dependent on any one athlete. So if someone goes and has a bad day, they can recover from it. And they're not dependent on any one event, too. So if one event gets wonky or weird, they can recover from that because in many of these events, they have multiple people in the events. And you're right, they're covered in a bunch of different events. And I look at some of these field events, you see more in the long jump. I feel good about that being 10 points. I look at the triple, Moore and Hooper 1 and 2, and at least Moore is well clear of everybody else in the triple. So I feel good about those 10 points. You go into the pentathlon, Anna Hall, 200 points clear of everybody else this year. I know pentathlon scores, it's because you just do a score to qualify and then you move on. But you feel good about them getting easily to 40 points, no problem, before even dipping into some of these other events. And you have them projected 63 points. So if you need 60, let's just say 65 to win, to me, you think, all right, now how do you cobble together the other 25 points? And that's where you go with Diggs. That's where you go with Stark. And you go with your relay. And you go with, you go to the 800. You go to the high jump. So I think Texas and Arkansas would need to have really good days, almost perfect days, and then Florida would have to have several mishaps for Florida to win. And then those are obviously the three that are cut above.
And it's interesting because Arkansas women, I believe, won SECs, right?
Correct. Yep, they did. Yeah,
And
yeah.
this
So it's
happens a lot
possible.
where the team, it's possible Arkansas can win, but this happens a lot where a team that doesn't win their own conference goes on and wins nationals because it's a lot harder to win a conference championship than a national championship. That sounds weird to say it out loud. It's harder to win a conference championship than a national championship. Uh, but when you're
Different.
dealing with SECs, I would say that's actually harder to win SECs than it is to win nationals because nationals you win with 4 studs, 4 stars.
Yeah.
Conferences you win with 4 studs, 4 stars, but then also 12 really, really good athletes. You win with
Hmm.
depth. You don't need depth to win a national title. But Arkansas, though, they're in that. Them and Texas, I have them both scoring 50 points. So they're in the conversation. They're not out of the question. Texas is coming off their Big 12 championship. They dominated there. Arkansas coming off of their SEC championship. They dominated there. So Texas and Arkansas are good picks. But I
Hmm.
don't know. I just think Florida's going to have it on their day. They got the surefire 10 pointers that will take down Texas and Arkansas.
Yeah, and I get your point about conference and nationals being two entirely different types of meets. And listen, at SECs, more like the triple jump went to form with Moore and Hooper, and the long jump went well. Um, but there were some events where I think they would have wanted to do better, and that's ultimately why Arkansas was able to get them and to win. I mean, they didn't run a 4x4 either, so obviously that would not happen at the national meet. But I think they would need to have they would need to have even a tougher day than they had at SECs to lose. They would need more people to underperform than they did at SECs to lose. But I just don't see that happening. And then you look at Texas, right? You have them slotted in at 50 points, tied with Arkansas, and obviously they have a lot of entrants as well too. But nobody can reach the heights that Florida can reach this year if they're on their A game.
Yeah. But hopefully it gets close, and hopefully it comes down to that 4x4, because it'll be great to see those three schools all have a chance to win it in the final race, because that's what you want to see. Some good old flat fashion drama. So
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Men,
Final
what do you think?
question.